Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do my April TBR. I'm aware that it's been a while since I posted a video. Not that long, but like longer than usual. And so that's a fact. Life's been busy, and yeah, so that's that on that. I'm about to go on my spring break, so I'll have more time to film and edit and all the good stuff of BookTube as well as read. So this April TBR is a little bit ambitious because it also goes with my spring break, which I am starting right now. I'm on spring break right now. I finished my last class this morning. I'm going home tomorrow, so tomorrow for me, right now for you, I'm probably in a car on my way to my home. So I thought I'd take advantage of this time of being alone in my apartment to film this video. In the month of April, I will be taking part in one readathon, the AprilAthon, which is run by April from Aprilius Maximus. And it's just like a low-key readathon, so I thought I'd join in because, you know, I have the time, I have free time, and I really want to get more reading done. So, perfect timing. I'm not going to do a separate TBR video for that, so I'll just point out the books that I plan to read for that as I go through them. First, we have the books that I'm currently reading. First, I'm currently reading Gemini by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This is a reread for me. I'm rereading it on audiobook because, as is tradition for me, that I've decided is tradition even though I've only done it once, I'm rereading Gemini so that I can read Obsidian later this week. If you don't know, Gemini is the second book in the Illuminate trilogy. Obsidian is the third book that came out last month. So I just want to be as prepared as possible. I would have reread Illuminate before I reread Gemini, but I didn't think I would have enough time because I really want to read Obsidian this week while I have all the time that I can to devote to it. And this will count for reading a book with your favorite color on the cover, because if you can see the book cover somewhere on this side of me, I hope, the book cover is blue. And yes, I am starting it before the readathon starts, and so I will not have completely read the book during the readathon, but I don't care. So next, I'm currently reading The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This was like the thriller of the year last year or the year before, I don't remember. It was like the new Gone Girl, which I still haven't read, but I watched the movie. I really need to read Gone Girl. Anyway, back to The Girl on the Train. This follows a woman who like people watches while she's on her commute, and she starts to notice that the people she's been watching have been acting differently or like doing things differently, or she sees something weird, I don't remember, but it's about that and like what happens. I'm about half an hour in. I'm listening to the audiobook. Next, I'm currently reading The Price Guide to the Occult by Leslie Walton. I'm about 15% of the way through. This was an arc I got through NetGalley. I mentioned it in last month's TBR, and I did start it last month. It's about a girl who descends from a very powerful witch who did like something dumb, and she kind of cursed her family. It's not entirely clear to me, but basically it's about this girl who is a witch but doesn't want to be a witch, and it's about that. And the last book that I am currently reading is Ask the Passengers by A.S. King. This is about a girl who can like talk to the people who are in airplanes above her house. I feel like last time I explained this, it didn't make sense. It still doesn't really make sense. She's also coming to terms with the fact that she's a lesbian, or she at least likes girls. There is an element of fabulism in this, if you couldn't tell by the fact that she's talking to people in planes above her house. I'm on page 66, and I am enjoying it so far. This counts for 2 challenges for the AprilAthon. Read a book with a beautiful cover, and then read a book that you've been meaning to read for ages. I've had this book for ages, and I've been meaning to read it, so once again, yes, I did start it before the readathon. Once again, I don't care. Next, I have some arcs that I plan to get to this month. I mentioned last month how I kind of went a little NetGalley crazy in January, and I still haven't gotten over the craziness. So I do have a lot of books on NetGalley to read and review. So I've chosen 3 of them that I would like to prioritize this month because either they already came out or they're coming out in April. So let's talk about those. First, we have Chaotic Good by Whitney Gardner. Whitney Gardner is the author of Your Welcome Universe, which I don't remember the synopsis of, but it was very popular when it first came out, so I wanted to get ahead of the curve and read her next book, which seems like fun. I don't remember what it's about, but the cover has like fashion on it, so I feel like it's about some kind of fashion. And Chaotic Good came out on March 13th. The next book that I would like to read is 806 by Cynthia Weil. This came out on March 13th as well, and as far as I remember, it is about 3 teens who come together because they all have the same father, and then they go on like a road trip to try and find him. I'm not sure if it was a father or a sperm donor. I think it might have been a sperm donor. A smarter me would just Google it, but I'm not smart. So that is what the book is kind of about. I won this book on Bookish First, which is like a website where you kind of enter giveaways, and then you also accumulate points so that if you either have enough points or you just win the giveaway, you can get a arc sent to you. And so yeah, I got one an e-arc of this, and I'm excited to read it. The last arc that I would like to prioritize this coming month is Lizzie by Dawn Ias. I'm not sure how to say her last name, but this book comes out on April 10th, and I do not recall what the synopsis is, so I won't attempt to butcher it for you. Next, we're on to my actual TBR, which is kind of where I just get free reign to pick whatever books that I currently have in my possession. This is how I'm getting like my physical and ebook TBRs down mostly. And yeah, so I've picked 4 books. I'm sorry if you can hear the siren, but I'm gonna just keep talking through it. The first book that I picked is Castle in the Air by Diane Wynne Jones. This was from last month's TBR. It was actually my random pick for last month, and so I decided to just roll it over because it is a book that I want to get to, and picking it as my random pick like brought it up my TBR, so I want to get to it. This is the second book in the Howl's Moving Castle series. I would still like to rewatch Howl's Moving Castle. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I'll do it this spring break. The next book that I'm planning to read is Obsidian by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. There's one book that I read this week. It will be Obsidian. So yeah, I've been super excited for this. I've been super excited for this new release since I read the last book. This has been one of my favorite trilogies. It's also the only like book series I've really followed where, you know, I get each book as they're coming out, or basically as they're coming out, and like read them and like really follow it. And so I'm super sad to see it end, but I really want to read the ending. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be finishing my reread of Gemini and reading Obsidian this month. And this will count for reading a book that I am excited to read, and to read a book that you've recently acquired for the AprilAthon. More Than This by Patrick Ness. This is kind of a book that I just have an ebook of, so I just picked it up out of my ebook collection, and I just want to get to it. I'm pretty sure this is the one about a kid who like dies, and like that's what the book is about, like after death or something. I'm not 100% sure. This is a book a lot of people like to go into blind. I'm pretty sure the synopsis doesn't even say that much, so I don't know much. And the last book that's part of the TBR that I just kind of chose for myself, I picked The Power by Naomi Alderman. This will count for the challenge of reading a super hyped book. This won the Bailey's Prize, I think, last year. And like just a lot of booktube has been talking about it. And I have a copy from Book of the Month Club. It's actually in my suitcase right now, but I didn't want to unpack to take it out. So here's a picture. But yeah, this is about the future, or like maybe now, where basically all women get electric powers. Get like electric powers, so then they become the physically stronger sex. So see how that changes like gender dynamics and things like that. And it's told from the perspective of like a male journalist in the future, like after that whole period happened. So that's what I know about it. It sounds very intriguing. I'm looking forward to reading it. And last, we have come to the last section of my TBR, where we do my random picks. So, if you don't know, my random picks is where I pick books randomly off my TBR. I use a random number generator or your comments to pick books off my TBR. So, if you want to be a part of this, leave a comment down below with a number between 1 to 398, because I use a combination of like whatever comments I get and a random number generator. If I get enough comments, I don't use a random number generator. The first book that was picked for me was Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is about a black girl who mother was babysitting, and then the baby dies, and somehow she gets blamed for it. I'm not 200% sure, but it's like some kind of mystery thing going on. It sounds very ominous, and I'm down for it. Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, which is the first book in a series that is about teenagers who get lame superpowers. Which, that's basically what I remember from the synopsis. Like, it's like, oh, he can like feel if you're like lying, which isn't like super lame, but like it's not like flashy. And it is also written by 2 other co-authors, but I don't remember who they are, and I didn't write them down, so I'm sorry. And the last book that was randomly generated for me was actually Obsidian by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, so I'm actually already reading one of my random picks. But if I end up finishing all the books on my TBR and I want to read another random pick, it will probably be Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Those are all the books on my TBR for this month. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions or thoughts about any of the books that I mentioned in this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below. And also give me a number between 1 and 398, because that's how many books are on my Goodreads TBR, so that I can use them for my random picks next month. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, because I make more videos where I talk about books. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!